Heldritch Sins. So Heldritch Sins was made by me, Gabriel Rodrigues. It was a solo project that I made, so I was the programmer, the 2D artist, and the game designer. The programs I used were Unity for the game engine, a sprite and method for the art, and the platform the game was made for was PC. The theme I chose was Throwback Thrill. The inspiration for Elder Sins was mechanically on old Pokemon games for the fighting system, and Undertale and Omori for other aspects of the game, and visually on Diablo, Bloodborne, and Hollow Knight. So maybe dark fantasy and divine comedy would suit it. And the plot comes from the story of Dante's Inferno. The hook is battle your sins, earn your redemption. The main features of the game are the combat system, the unique visual style, and the narrative. The combat system is, like I said, inspired on old Pokemon games with different move types, with different quirks, and in the future, players will also will be able to have access to the use of items and other team members. The unique visual style comes from a retro 2D graph style, which was inspired by the theme Throwback Thrill. It's inspired by 90s games and themes of dark fantasy, similar to Diablo and Bloodborne, as I said, and it hopes to convey nostalgia through art, so visual aesthetics that connect players with memories of their old games. The narrative is based on the 7 deadly sins and the story of Dante. It will have an impactful introduction that immediately immerses the player in the story, and the relationship between the MC and the shopkeeper is one of the fundamental relationships in the game. What to do and where to invest for Heldritch Sins. So there's a brief market analysis here. The target are 2D RPG and turn-based combat system fans, and people that like mythology and fans of dark narratives. The majority will be students or young professionals with a quirk for deep novels, about 16 to 25-year-olds. Our main competition would be Undertale, Omori, Lisa the Painful, and games of that sort, but what makes us different and what's really our value comes from the plot motivator, which is a redemption plot motivator that isn't really seen in games like this, and the 7 capital sins thematic. Here's a brief overview of our team, how it would be in the future. So I would need 2 2D artists, 1 game designer, 1 level designer, a programmer, and a sound designer. The tools we will need will be Unity, Sprite, and FL Studio. The costs for that team would be €6,000 for 1 programmer for 6 months, 2 2D artists each at €6,000, and 1 sound designer also at €6,000. The marketing and PR would cost us about $25,000, and the cost of software license, platforms, contingencies would be about €2,000 to €3,000, coming to the total of about €50,000. How we're going to make money, though, we're going to base it off a crowdfunding system, because games with the genres and thematics similar to this tend to have a platform where fans can help support the developers through donations. We could also partner up with notable indie game publishers such as Evolve Digital and create a playable demo to attract media attention to gain that fan base that could donate to us. The business model, it's going to be sold on Steam with a base game price of $9.99 and the pre-release price of $4.99. The DLC with exclusive art, background, and soundtrack was going to cost $4.99. The post-game launch marketing would be merchandising with plushies of the bosses, collector's edition playable, and a physical copy that comes with a soundtrack on a CD, a little map showing all the different stages, and a coin depicting currency of the game. We'd also have an interactive website where more curious fans could even find hidden treasures, teasers, and Easter eggs from time to time. Biggest risks and how to avoid them. So we have lack of proper investment, delays on the project schedule, and lack of public interest, but they all have ways to avoid it. Here's our roadmap. So basically, in the first 6 months, we just want to make three of the first 7 phases, finish the soundtrack for those phases, make the animation and art style, and prepare an early access release and start the marketing campaigns. Although there is no way to level up at the moment, the system for the leveling system and experience gain has already been implemented. Here's a little trailer of the game, and the experience at GameJamPlus was an incredible experience, which gave me the possibility to really dive in the market of game developing. I also had the opportunity to meet up with tons of different people that helped me through the process. Thank you so much.